What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Game 2 of Sean Collins vs. Tim Lay, Pro Play Games YouTube channel. We have Decidueye Vileplume versus Dark Dragons in Game 2. I do believe Sean's going to be going first because he lost the first match. Shout out to the Pokemon community. Thanks for the support. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you do, we appreciate it a lot. Alright, we're getting into Game 2. Sean starts Taurus with an Oddish, and TJ starts with a Darkrai and a Salamence on the bench. Instantly slapping down that Forest means he can go into a potential Vileplume turn 1, even potential Decidueye's turn 1, so let's see how this plays out. Plays the end to give his hand a refresh. I'm sure he may have had a Sycamore, just didn't want to lose some of the good stuff he had in his hand. I do see a Shaman, Trainer Mail in his hand, drops a double Cutlass on the Taurus. It's a good move because now Taurus is a big threat and presence on the board, hard to deal with. Trainer's Mail's unfortunately into 2 Trainer's Mails, unable to grab anything. Plays the Shaman, recoup his hand up to 6. I do see a Vileplume. Pass his turn. So he got a drop of a Darktina and plays a Max Elixir. Does not hit. Unfortunate. Definitely need to hit those Max Elixirs to get that deck going in early game. Centering the Shaman, most likely just a play to give himself something else to fight and deal with as opposed to dealing with the Taurus. Although he did have the double colorless to throw on the Shaman so he can just Sky Return, do a quick 30 and return the Shaman and the double colorless to his hand. Plays another in. See what this brings. Well, I see a Shaman, TJ's hand, looks like a double dragon, a darkness. I believe it's Horus. We see Sean drop the Ultra Ball, pitching Lysander and a Lugia EX to search his deck. Most likely we'll be seeing, yes, I thought another Shaman. Wants to dig out a couple more resources before he drops the Vileplume, I'm sure. Shaman, recoup to 6, drawing I believe 4 here. Do see a level ball, see a Trainer's Mail as well. At this point, Sean does seem to be looking like he can start to take this game his way. If he gets that item lock and maybe a Decidueye or 2 out right now, should definitely swing the momentum greatly into his favor. Doesn't look like the TJ's got too much. Has 1 energy on the Darkrai, missed his earlier Max Elixir, didn't hit anything off the first end that he got into. I'm sure Sean's going to try and build a Decidueye up here. I do see a Vileplume. Okay, that's the Trainer's Mail. So he's grabbing the Sycamore to keep the train rolling for his next turn. Do see him come down with the Ultra Ball, pitching a Revitalizer, actually 2 Revitalizers. Interesting. Definitely in a situation where he needs to grab a Pokemon, but can't risk that other 2 cards in his hand, I'm sure. One being a Sycamore, the other one I'm not too sure what it is. Does Sky Return, puts out the Taurus, again to have that presence on board. We see an energy come down and an in. So looks like at this point TJ's just trying to see if he can dig something out, maybe hit some Max Elixirs and keep himself in the game. See a couple energies in his hand. I saw Lily is Lysander as well. Sean, I'm sure, is quite happy. He got hit with that and give him a nice fresh 6 as well. Skull Grunting to hit a double dragon mid a darkness. That's definitely a nice hit with a Skull Grunt. Definitely want to pick those double dragons out as much as you can. So that was definitely a worthwhile move on his end. I'm sure he has the ability to take it even more so on the board. Has the Vileplume locking out the items. Tauros on board, so TJ's not going to want to attack into the Tauros recklessly and get hit with a rage to take the knockout and not be prepared with anything else. Takes the damage from the horn attack. 90 on the Darkrai with just 90 left. Drops a Dark on the Darkrai. Plays the Lily. Do see a double dragon. Contemplating what he wants to do here. Opts not to attack, just to not build up the rage from the Tauros. Sean seems to be starting to get his Datrix out. At this point, if he's able to drop Decidueye, he can start moving damage around freely, which is at the point where it'll be the most dangerous, when it has item lock and the ability to put, 40, 60 damage anywhere they want per turn, plus having their attacker out is definitely very powerful. You see a double dragon come down onto the Giratina, boosting the Darkrai's damage just a bit. Still not able to get a one-shot or anything, but opting to attack this time just because he knows the knockout's going to come either way. So at this point he's just trying to prepare for maybe building up the next Darkrai to be able to do some decent damage the next turn. Sean's contemplating his options. Got 140 on his Tauros, so Rage will be hitting for 160. Very powerful. Does look like item lock might be affecting him just a bit, but in terms of board presence, he definitely has control at this point. I think Sean's just kind of weighing his options and seeing what he has available to him at this time and what would be the best play. At this point, it looks like Sean's actually going to just go ahead and Lysander out the Giratina with the double dragon on it. Rage is hitting for 160, so with a muscle band could knock out, but he's going to use the GX to take the knockout, weakening TJ setup for sure, because at this point, damaged Darkrai and one more Darkrai with just hitting for about 80 on board. Not enough damage to really deal with those Decidueyes should they come out anytime soon. Does manage to take the knockout back against him, but is it too little too late? Yeah, he does drop a Decidueye down here, so at this point he's going to start being able to spread damage around. Most likely going to be able to take the knockout on that Darkrai on the bench. Coming up here in the next turn or so, depending. Does look like we see the double colorless come onto the Shaman. Gonna hit for another Sky Return, hitting 30, returning it to his hand, allowing him to Shaman again, also use the double colorless again as well. Opts to go into the Decidueye, knowing that he at 240 health is sitting pretty well, not worried too much about damage gonna happen to him because sitting at 240, that's at least a 3-shot, given the energies on board right now for the Darkrai. Decent energy come down onto the Darktina. Just trying to see if he can build up as much damage as he can. Hitting for 120. He is within 2-shot range at this point, however, pretty sure we're going to be able to see the knockout on the bench Darkrai here. TJ's hand is 2 Shamans, a Hoopa, a Dark, a Max Elixir. Definitely pretty rough. Yeah, here we see the knockout on the bench Darkrai, bringing his damage down to just 80 per turn, so he's not going to be able to take the knockout back here on the Decidueye unless he pulls a Double Dragon on his next turn. Sean's going through his discard just to check how many resources he's used. He's gone through quite a bit of his deck, so I'm sure at this point he doesn't have too much left. I'm sure he's just trying to see if he has a way of getting Decidueye so he can load his board up, start spreading more damage around. Because with only one Decidueye built up, if TJ is able to take the knockout on him, could potentially take this game back. See the Hoopa come down, searches out a Darkrai. This one kind of just trying to pull out resources from the deck, thin it out, check to see if he has the Double Dragon. Not able to take the knockout here due to lack of 1 energy. Needs at least 1 more energy to get close to knocking out that Decidueye. Does choose to concede, knowing that the game was inevitably going to be lost. So we're going to game 3 here, guys. Stay tuned.